William Shakespeare, one of the greatest authors of all time, was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. His actual birth date is uncertain, but most scholars believe he was born on or near April 23, 1564.
We think he may have been educated in the King's School at Stratford because that would have been typical for a child with a father who was an alderman. What we do know is that he didn't go to university. The ways he used words are so common that people often get mixed up and can't remember if they came from the Bible or from Shakespeare. My grandmother used to say, when something bad happened, that these were the slings and arrows of everyday life. She was not an educated woman, and she didn't go to
about
Shakespeare.
2,000 new words and phrases were invented by William Shakespeare. He gave us handy words like eyeball, puppy dog and anchovy, and more show-offy words like dauntless, besmirch and lackluster. He came up with the word alligator, soon after he ran out of things to rhyme with crocodile. And a nation of tea drinkers finally took him to their hearts when he invented the hobnob. Shakespeare knew the power of catchphrases as well as biscuits. Without him, we'd never eat our flesh and blood out of house and home. We'd have to say good riddance to the green-eyed monster, and breaking the ice would be as dead as a doornail. If you tried to get your money's worth, you'd be given short shrift, and anyone who laid it on with a trowel could be hoist with his own petard.
Romeo and Juliet has some of the best insults of any of Shakespeare's plays. It's a play about two gangs and the star-crossed lovers that take their own lives. Well, with any fisticuffs, you know that there is some serious smack talk going on, and you are not disappointed. In Act 1, Scene 1, right from the get-go, we are shown the level of distrust and hatred the members of the two families, the Capulets and Montagues, meet. Gregory, I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Samson, nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it. Enter Abraham and Balthazar. Abraham, do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Samson, I do bite my thumb, sir. Abraham, do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Okay, so how does this development help us understand mood or character? Well, let's break it down to the insult. Biting your thumb today may not seem like a big deal, but Samson says it is an insult to them. If they take it so, it must have been one. This begins to show us the level of animosity between even the men who work for the two houses. And you normally would not do anything to someone unless you wanted to provoke them into a fight, which is exactly what's about to happen.
I like trying when she rises early in the morning. I like to see... Oh, it's him. I hate his guts.
Hate his dog, hate them all.
Oh, do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
No, sir, I do but bite my thumb.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb. Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
Ha! No better.
Yes, better.
Ooh. You lie! Montague! I'll kill you, I swear to God! I'll take you apart!
It's exciting to present Romeo and Juliet, and it's a story that I think matters so much to young people. You know, it speaks to them. It speaks to their experience of the world, that they're young, they look around at the world their parents have created, and they wonder how they've screwed this up so badly. The young people in Romeo and Juliet are the practical ones. They're the real grown-ups. They're the ones that look at the world with a kind of clarity that their parents can't.
Whose eyes am I behind? I don't recognize anything that I see. Whose skin is this design? I don't want this to be the way that you see.
So it's telling to look at the way that Juliet describes her own feelings and the reasons for them. She calls their romance too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. But then in the same scene she says, my bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. The lightning is over in a flash, but the sea is infinite. Juliet also famously speaks of her true love passion, which conflates two very different ideas.
Now to the Feast of Capulet, where Romeo is doomed to meet his Juliet, and where, in a scene of timeless romance, he'll try to get into Juliet's pants.
Oh! She doth teach the torches to burn bright. Did my heart love till now, for sweat at sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
Juliet may be, at least in Shakespeare's conception, really in love. I mean, in their first conversation, they speak a total of 14 lines to each other, and those 14 lines, when combined, form a perfect Shakespearean sonnet. So this isn't some random hookup at a party, this is literally instant poetry. And Shakespeare bestows some of his most gorgeous lines on them. Northrop Frye called this play as a tragedy about time, how little there is of it, and also about youth, how we assign passionate importance to things and people when we're young because we don't have the breadth of experience to behave more moderately, which is maybe the tragedy of adulthood. Old folks, Juliet maintains, are unwieldy, slow, heavy, pale as lead. But for me, the play is ultimately about having to make difficult choices with limited information. This love, which feels real and I would argue therefore is real, has to be balanced against responsibilities to your family and to the state in the form of the Prince of Verona and to the church. In your life, are you going to seek what you want, or are you going to listen to your parents when they tell you what to want, or to the state when it tells you what to want? Until the very end of the play, both Romeo and Juliet are trying to find ways to please all these masters, the self, the state, the church, the family, and that is what kills them. Had they just run away together or hooked up without getting married in an unchurchly fashion, they probably would have survived. Their love is an ardent and over-the-top response to the violent and unjust world in which they live and the patriarchal authority that controls that world, but they can never fully abandon or reject that authority. And this is still a challenge for teenagers who are often dismissed as idealistic or melodramatic and who must balance the intensity of their feeling against the expectations of the world around them. Don't drop out of high school to follow your dream of being a trapeze artist. Honor thy father and mother. Register for the draft. Don't pass up a full ride to Harvard to follow your girlfriend into the Marines, etc.
Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone.
The obstacles may change, but the underlying problem of love in an unjust world isn't going anywhere. It's tempting to dismiss the plot of Romeo and Juliet as sappy, emo romance, but in truth, each of us will live out our lives having answered, consciously or not, the questions at the heart of the play. Do you believe that fate is inescapable, or that people forge their own lives? Is the fault in the stars or in ourselves? And will you prioritize your personal wishes over the wishes of your family, or your religion, or your country? If you think about it, Romeo and Juliet aren't offered an easy choice. They can hurt family members they love, or they can hurt each other. Either way, there will be tragedy, and these messy, ambiguous, ethically fraught, high-stakes questions are still a part of all of our lives. Shakespeare's gift to us is giving voice to them in all their maddening complexity. Thanks for watching.
But love is not some victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.